So I'm going to show you a couple tricks of the trade under Weebly. And I'm at a little bit of a different stage than you guys would be. The first stage is to go to Weebly.com. You're going to do, I believe there's a login button that normally appears in this corner. You're going to log in, and I would use your Google account to do that. It just syncs up your information and makes it easier so you don't have to remember another password and another login. When you get onto Weebly, it's going to ask you what type of site, and you're not doing an online store, you're just creating a regular site. And then it's going to ask you to pick a theme. So I've already picked a theme, which is this Wags and Paws. I like the design of it. I mean, yes, it has a dog on it, which is pretty cute. But I picked it because I like the layout and the setup. So a couple words about themes. The themes are built and organized under Weebly. And when you do it, it kind of creates a standard set background. So if you want to change your theme, you can, and you can look at different themes out there, but just understand that certain themes you can't change everything. You can change some of it, but sometimes you can't. And also be careful that you don't waste an entire hour looking at the themes. So I have my theme already picked out. I like the black and white color and the quality. I can change the theme if I wanted to. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of options. And just be careful, because this could be a real big time sucker if you're not monitoring yourself. So I already chose my theme. And now I'm on the website where I'm going to decide how to structure it. You might also be taken to like register your dominion, which is basically creating your website. When you do that, you want to make sure you use a subdomain or dominion, however you say it, a subdomain of Weebly, because it will be free. If you don't, they're going to want to charge you money for it. So what will happen next is now I'm on what we're going to call the canvas. So you can see my Weebly. There's a couple other things. It extends a little bit, but I'm on the Weebly, and this is my canvas. The blue stuff that pops up is my basically my media. And so if there's something I don't want, I can just delete it. It'll turn red. If it's blue, it's because I'm picking it or using it. This little thing is your toolbar, which allows you to adjust the size. It allows you to link up information. And different things. Over here is basically your canvas tools, and there's some tools on here that are always free, and when you want to do something, you grab it, you pull it, and then it puts the thing on you. And as you notice, it made this kind of setup on its own. So some of this setup, you don't really have a lot of choice. It's gonna do what you want it to do. Sometimes you can wiggle around with it. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to make it a prettier color. If I wanted to, I can center it. I can underline it. I can make it big or small. And there we go. I can add text boxes. And what you'll notice is the blue is basically shows you where to position it. So if I want it to be right next to this welcome sign, over here, that blue is letting me know that's where it's going to be positioned. And then I could do some typing and things like that. Images are helpful because that allows you to put a picture on there. Slideshow, I told you guys, is a favorite. Slideshow allows you to pick what kind of slideshow setup. If you wanted thumbnails, you can continue that. You can upload some photos. And it also allows you to do, let's see, I'll use my dog. So I'm going to add the photos, and if you notice, it says click the bubble icons and I can add caption. So save it, save this, and then it will allow you to pick if you want to put it on a transition style, if you want to speed it up, if you want to add more pictures. So there's a lot of different options and things to play around with, which is really nice. Scrolling down, you can show all the elements, and there's a lot more. The stuff with the little bolt of lightning on it is extra money. which is annoying but can be managed. Another thing that kids really like is the buttons. So if you put a button over here, this button allows you to link information. So I can link up one of these pages. I can link up the service page if I wanted to. I could link up a website. So if I wanted to unlink that, but I wanted to do, maybe I wanted to put Harper Creek's website on here for some reason, I can paste that sucker in there. So that was the button tool. Spacer is nice because it allows you to create space between different things, and you could space it down. So if you really want to create a nice white space in between paragraphs, the spacer is a good option. Block quote could be kind of a cool thing because you could put a famous quote or something on there. And then scrolling down, it looks like they made YouTube free, which is kind of nice. So you can upload videos. I'm not really sure about these apps. These look kind of new to me. So another thing that's helpful, we already did theme. We talked about the Canvas tools, your pages. So if you don't want this contact page, because it just doesn't make any sense, you click it. So this is the pages. You click on the page and you hit delete. And then you can get rid of it. If you want to change this, so you want to change this to About Me, you can write that in. You can decide if you want to add a header or if you want to create a splash. This is just letting you know some of the format's going to change, and if you're okay with that, great. But you can add a different picture header. This is kind of the stock image header that's already there. You can play with the visibility, which basically means who can see it and who can't. The other thing that's nice is maybe you want the About Me to be like a sub page. You grab it and you pull it over and you drop it, and then now it's a sub page, so it kind of does this little ditty. So those are some things. A lot of it's just playing around with it, seeing what you want to do, and making decisions as you go. And then the big thing to remember when you get done today is to go to Publish. So my Publish button's kind of off. So go to Publish. And right now it's asking you if you have a domain. So I'm going to search it. This gave me trouble when I was trying to do my first video. So I'm going to use my name, do AP Lit 2018. I'm going to search and see if it's available. So what's going to happen is these things, the professional domains, are tricky, expensive, horrible little impish things. Ignore this. You want to do a subdomain because it's free. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to choose it. It's going to ask if I'm okay with that because this is what it's going to look like, www, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say done. And it's going to think. This publish state is basically confirming that the information is correct. And when you hit this blue link, it's going to take you, oh gosh, this is beautiful. And it's going to take you and you can test your buttons and you can see if it looks how you want it to look, and that kind of stuff. So that's basically a quick how-to with Weebly. I'm sorry, I was trying to keep it under 5 minutes and it didn't happen. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.